which adds up to a trip to Drug Emporium. Our selection and prices save you time and money on all the best brands at Drug Emporium. Saving money's a beautiful thing. Drug Emporium, not your average drugstore.
KATU Spirit 2 wishes you a happy Thanksgiving.
The final days before American troops may be sent on a dangerous mission to Bosnia.
Plus those who are serving here and elsewhere.
They pause today to give thanks. New evidence on the consequences of not spending mealtime with your children. And gang members who want to go straight. Burning their bridges with the past.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Sitting in tonight, Forrest Sawyer.
Good evening. The U.S. brokered agreement to end 4 years of fighting in Bosnia may be a step closer to reality tonight. The leader of the Bosnian Serbs has reportedly accepted the peace plan, though some Bosnian Serb officials are still calling the deal a sellout and vowing to resist. For those 60,000 new NATO peacekeepers who may soon be on duty in Bosnia, 20,000 of them U.S. forces, it makes things all the more difficult. We begin our reports on Bosnia with ABC's Jim Bitterman with American troops in Germany.
Plus those who are serving here and elsewhere, and give them safe return home.
In a dozen 1st Armored Division mess halls, soldiers and families sat down for Thanksgiving, unsure where the troops will be by the time Christmas rolls around, knowing that Bosnia would be a pretty good guess.
If we have to go, we have to go. There's nothing we can do about it. Hopefully we can get over there, do the job that we're supposed to do, and then come back.
It is a job few soldiers describe with enthusiasm, but that officers know will require good morale.
Morale as a measure of a unit's discipline and its cohesiveness is absolutely essential in this kind of mission. Discipline, of course, is what you do when no one's looking. And I need them to be disciplined, to be doing the right thing when no one's looking.
Doing the right thing will be complicated in Bosnia. In church this Thanksgiving, there were prayers for divine guidance. And Debbie Pedroza said a special prayer for the safety of her husband, Mike, a communications officer. Later, around the dinner table, the couple tried to stay focused on this holiday and not worry about what may lie ahead.
But right now, basically, we're just trying to relax, not think about it for a while, hopefully till after the weekend's over.
It's like it's their job, they have to go if they have to go, but nobody wants them to. It's just kind of tug at both ends.
Okay. Jim Bitterman, Bad Kreuznach, Germany.
This is Tony Bertley in Bosnia. This will be the headquarters for the American troops, the Tuzla Air Base in northeast Bosnia.
Tuzla Tower is calling.
For nearly 2 years, it has been a UN base. It's frequently infiltrated by Bosnian government soldiers who try to steal food and equipment. It's been subjected to shelling and sniper fire from Serb gunners whose positions are less than 5 miles away. If that were not enough, the base is littered with unexploded bombs and mines.
Where they will be operating will cross the confrontation line, and they will have to face all the warring factions and deal with them, that being the Serbs and the Bosnians on the other side.
But the Serbs here haven't fired on the base since the October ceasefire. They see America as the enemy, the country they believe has sided against them.
I'm the soldier too, and I will fight against them. I don't like them very much.
I don't think the American troops can bring peace here, this man says. They can only make problems worse, and they will be on the side of the Muslims. The American sector will also include mountainous areas which cover roughly 2,000 square miles. There are an estimated 5,000 Serb soldiers in the region, up to 15,000 Bosnian government forces. The two sides face each other along a front line which stretches for hundreds of miles. It is ideal country for guerrilla attacks where small mobile forces can strike and quickly disappear. The notoriously bad winter weather conditions often make it difficult to detect where shells are fired from.
The arrival of American soldiers means the beginning of the end of the war. People have faith in President Clinton and his administration.
The presence of American troops here may mean to many that the war will finally be over, but to the 60,000 Muslim refugees crammed into this town, it also means that they can never regain what they've lost. These people came here in July after the Serbs overran the town of Srebrenica. Thousands of Muslim men are believed to have been slaughtered after the town fell. American troops are likely to face many dangers here. They may also be able to achieve much good. one thing they'll not be able to do is repair the terrible psychological scars. Tony Bertley, ABC News, Tuzla.
The toughest ones to convince to accept this peace deal are the Bosnian Serbs. There's been some arm twisting today to bring them on board. ABC's Ron Allen on the results of today's negotiations in Serbia.
Tonight, Serbian television reported that President Slobodan Milosevic had convinced the Bosnian Serb leader Radovan Karadzic to accept the Dayton peace plan. Despite a number of painful solutions, the statement said, the Bosnian Serbs will implement the agreement in its entirety.
I think this is a significant development, and I think it truly helps to implement the peace plan in Bosnia-Herzegovina.
But if he actually agrees to the letter of the peace deal, Karadic's days as a leader are numbered. Under the terms of the agreement, he and General Ratko Mladic cannot hold leadership positions because they've been indicted for crimes against humanity. There has been enormous concern that the Bosnian Serbs and the Bosnian Serb army would attempt to destroy the deal.
We 3 times allowed Karadzic and his people in Pale to really flout the will of the international community. It just rolled us over.
And even if Karadzic has accepted the deal, many of his followers have not. In the Serb-held enclaves of Sarajevo today, this soldier was vowing to fight on. We will always be here for the people, he says. We will stay here to defend our country. Ron Allen, ABC News, Sarajevo.
And still ahead, the ritual of the family meal and its consequences for your children's mental health. A question for the last nation in the West where divorce is against the law. And how to feed millions of Americans with food that wasn't pretty enough to eat.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Toyota.
If you were to take every honor, every award, everything positive that's been said about the Toyota Camry and laid them end to end, you'd probably ask yourself, why did I do that? With option package savings, why not lease one for $249 a month, 0 down, and come up with a few accolades of your own? The 1996 Camry, the gold standard from Toyota.
Hey, you there.
Yes?
What's your idea of a little reward?
Paris, champagne, and...
Strawberries?
I can eat strawberries in Paris.
Introducing Sweet Rewards. Strawberry snack bars, lusciously berry inside.
Ooh, keep talking.
Buttery rich tasting outside. You'd never guess they were fat-free.
Fat-free? So that's why they call them Sweet Rewards.
Now all the best of Betty Crocker's in a fat-free strawberry bar. New Sweet Rewards. Fat-free just got a whole lot more rewarding.
Betty, for these, you should get a trip to France.
On this most American of holidays, it seems fitting that there is new evidence the family meal is more than important, it is a necessity. A new survey of America's top high school students found a direct link between regular family meals and a teenager's overall sense of well-being. Here's ABC's Michelle Norris.
On most nights, Micah Packard eats dinner by herself because her parents work late.
If my day's been really hard at school or something like that, then I really wish sometimes that they were here, you know, to kind of talk to.
Micah is like roughly half of the 3,000 top achieving teenagers in the survey who do not regularly share evening meals with their family. But unlike Micah, the survey found that those students are more prone to participate in risky activities.
For instance, students who rarely or never dined with their families were almost 4 times more likely to become sexually active and twice as likely to routinely get drunk. On the other hand, teens who often shared family meals spent more time studying, playing sports, and working in part-time jobs. Tony and Michael Abenante share a family meal almost every night. Their dinnertime chat, even when it's lecturing, helps build confidence and character.
Every day she asks me what I had in school today, if I had a test. She knows.
It's like if I want to know something, I'll ask them right then, because you know they're all going to be sitting there, all going to be listening to what I want to say. So I like to get attention then.
In fact, 79% of students who dined with parents described their home life as happy and close, while only 26% of students who ate alone felt the same.
I think the real key is to allot a predictable piece of time in the work week to be with children.
While the survey focused on some of the nation's best and brightest students, the results suggest that all teenagers benefit from the emotional nourishment of a family meal. Michelle Norris, ABC News, Washington.
This is a day devoted to nourishment, and as always on this Thanksgiving, Americans open to their hearts and often their homes. In Atlanta, volunteers served 35,000 meals at the Morris Brown College Gymnasium.
Thank you very much. Amen.
In San Antonio, it was Operation Home Cooking. Hundreds of servicemen and women from the Lackland Air Force Base picked up by local families and made part of the family. At Children's Hospital in Dallas today, cooking was therapy for dozens of boys and girls too sick to go home. They spent the day learning how to be bakers.
Join the parade!
New York City was once again every child's dream today. It was Macy's 69th annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. And at a park in Los Angeles, it was the vegetarian Thanksgiving picnic. These are your garden variety vegetarians. They'll only eat things from the garden. Organic sushi filled with greens, lots of tofu and potatoes, and gravy made strictly from vegetables. No dairy, no eggs, and certainly no meat. One place in America where turkeys had nothing to fear. And when we come back, Ireland decides whether it is ready for divorce.
Over the last 150 years, all kinds of companies that said they'd be there when you needed them didn't stand up to their promises. That's life. Our policy of thoughtful, prudent investing has kept us, well, a pillar of strength for the last 150 years. That's New York Life, the company you keep.
This is Emily. She's writing a book report on a PC with an Intel Pentium processor inside. The Pentium processor has the power to make software look, sound, and feel more real, making Emily's homework assignment feel more like a field trip. The Intel Pentium processor.
We opened this business 22 years ago. She's obstinate and ornery. She's also my best friend. I guess her hands started hurting her kind of off and on back in March. She worked through it, but she was taking a lot of pills. And I said, honey, why don't you call the doctor? Well, that's who told her about Aleve.
You take it every 8 to 12 hours. Tylenol, I was taking up to 8 a day. With Advil, I'd take 6.
Well, she tried Aleve. We did a little math, found out for a whole day's relief, Aleve cost half as much as Tylenol or Advil. Anyway, Aleve was all she needed. Who knows? Maybe one of these days we'll stop bickering.
Don't bet on it.
Aleve. All day strong, all day long.
Hey, I know big. And the Ace Really Big sale is gigantic. It's a huge opportunity to find big-name products like this and this at really small prices. So hurry down to Ace. It just doesn't get any bigger than this.
From the Beatles in India to the story of John and Yoko and the Beatles' final live performance. Be part of the television event of our lifetime.
Four guys who really loved each other. It was pretty sensational.
The Beatles Anthology, tonight on ABC.
Medical news in Geneva this week. The World Health Organization is conducting the largest conference ever on the consequences of Chernobyl, the world's worst nuclear accident. Its findings: thyroid cancer among children who live near the Ukrainian nuclear plant has soared, and many others are suffering from severe anxiety and stress, and medical treatment at home is limited. So where do they go for help? The answer may surprise you. Here's ABC's Mark Potter.
At a rundown hospital complex east of Havana, hundreds of very sick children from the Ukraine play in the Cuban sunshine. All have one thing in common. They were born near the nuclear power plant at Chernobyl. 7-year-old Dmitry Medyuk suffers from degenerative bone and muscle diseases and came here with his mother.
He's a lot better, not only physically, but emotionally, and even, I think, he's feeling like a kid. He has developed a lot better here in Cuba.
The irony is that for decades until its collapse, the Soviet bloc, including the Ukraine, subsidized the Cuban economy and its hospitals. Now the Ukrainian economy is in shambles, and it is Cuba, with its internationally recognized healthcare system and a surplus of highly trained physicians, that is caring for the children from Chernobyl. 13,000 of them since 1990. The Cuban government pays all the medical costs. The children are treated for cancer, thyroid problems, skin diseases, and psychological ailments. Doctors don't know how many actually suffer from radiation or from the lack of basic care in the Ukraine. School here is taught by Ukrainian teachers, whose own children are also patients. Larissa Ukrainskaya is the school director. Her son Maxim has lost both his kidneys and is kept alive by dialysis. In the Ukraine, treatment was refused.
No hospital took him. They refused him all and said openly, he's died. Yes, he's dead.
Because Cuba is suffering its own economic crisis, made worse by the U.S. embargo, the doctors and nurses must work around shortages of wheelchairs, cleaning supplies, and medicines.
These ambulances were used to transport the most seriously ill children. Parts from the older vehicles were cannibalized to keep the newer ones running, but even they don't work anymore.
Still, Cuba manages to treat 300 of these children at a time, treatment that is a vestige of a Cold War relationship. Mark Potter, ABC News, near Havana, Cuba.
Still overseas, there's going to be an extraordinary vote in Ireland tomorrow. Ireland is the last Western nation where divorce is against the law. And tomorrow, a referendum will decide whether divorce and remarriage should finally be made legal. ABC Sheila McVicker is in Dublin.
When Brian and Rachel got married a few weeks ago in a Dublin church, they, like all Irish couples, promised their marriage would last forever. In Ireland, that vow has the force of law. Divorce is forbidden. Tomorrow's referendum asks the people of Ireland, do you want to change that?
The levels of marital breakdown that we have now are of such an extent that everybody knows somebody who tragically is involved in a marital breakdown situation.
Most polls predict a close result. Mary Scannell is campaigning for a yes vote. Mary is one of the 80,000 people the government says live in a kind of legal limbo, neither married nor single. She has been separated from her husband for 16 years and wants a divorce.
Yeah, I feel very strongly that I haven't finished that part of my life, that I haven't drawn a line under it. The marriage is dead. I just want to bury it.
There is no discussion in Catholic Ireland on social or moral issues that does not include the church. And to the church, the referendum is enormously threatening.
Teaching of the church in relation to marriage would be on its permanence and its stability.
But in the last few years, the Catholic Church here has been so racked by scandals and allegations of sexual abuse that it has lost at least some of its moral authority. It is no longer enough to argue that the teachings of the Church forbid divorce. So anti-divorce campaigners have focused on the economic effects of legalizing divorce, the increased legal aid bills, and in rural Ireland, the threat divorce poses to the family farm. Break up a family, they argue, and you break up a farm. Ultimately, the real issue is what a future Ireland will look like. With divorce, say those against it, marriage breakdown rates will soar. Without it, say those in favor, Ireland will remain repressive and intolerant. Sheila McVicker, ABC News, Dublin.
The young stock trader who lost more than $1 billion is back where his financial and legal nightmare began, in Singapore. Nick Leeson was extradited from Germany overnight, and when Leeson was the manager of the Singapore branch of the Barings Investment Bank, Britain's oldest, his illegal trades helped bring down the bank. When we come back, erasing a violent past.
It is said he is to computer software what Thomas Edison is to the light bulb. The software Bill Gates developed runs 2/3 of the computers in the world. And on the day he turned 36, his company, Microsoft, was bigger than Xerox, Kodak, and McDonald's. Where in today's world do you find companies capable of such astonishing growth? Actually, there's a list of them printed every day. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
You've always made a great team. Together growing, dreaming, sharing the rewards along the way. Park Avenue. For the comfort, for the luxury, for the quality. Congratulations, you've earned it. Buick Park Avenue.
When I was young, you and Mom made sure I ate right.
Well, you were my little girl.
Well, today we're listening to our doctors and taking better care of our health with Ensure.
Ensure is recommended #1 by doctors as a source of complete, balanced nutrition.
More than a vitamin supplement, Ensure has all the nutrients adults need to help stay healthy, active, be energetic,
Drink Ensure as a meal.
or in between. Ensure. To your health, Dad.
To our health.
Ensure, recommended #1 by doctors.
They may try to tell you one size fits all.
Perfect fit.
But long-distance plans that charge you one price per minute don't always save your business money over AT&T.
Love it.
In fact, this call comparison proves that you don't always save with other carriers.
Hey.
No matter what they offer you. Only AT&T guarantees a competitive price. Call 1-800-COMPARE. If you don't agree, we'll give you 1 month's worth of long distance, up to $500.
Perfect.
Today you can't count on much, but you can count on AT&T for the life of your business.
From California today, a story of symbols and how powerful they can be. The teardrop, the five-pointed star, Satan's pitchfork, are just some of the symbols tattooed on gang members. Frightening reminders of violent associations. And for former gang members, the destruction of those symbols can bring resurrection. Here's ABC's Ken Kashiwahara.
SOS? In the world of youth gangs, they are symbols of identity and pride, indelible signs of a life of crime and violence.
This is 1414, symbol of your gang.
Yeah. But when gang members like Freddie Alfaro decide to change their lives, their tattoos become human graffiti, symbolizing a past they cannot wash away.
A lot of people look at me different and stuff, you know. They don't look at me like a regular person now. You know, they see tattoos, they'll stay away from you, you know. They don't want to be near you and stuff.
Irene Berrigan quit her gang, too. She says no one will hire her because of the tiny gang markings tattooed on her fingers.
They think either I'm on drugs or in gangs still, and that hurts. It hurts because I know I can't get a job to support my family.
Okay, here we go.
But now the city of San Jose is giving hundreds of ex-gang members a chance to erase their past. This is the first city to buy a laser machine and persuade doctors to donate their time, removing gang tattoos for free. It is a procedure that would cost thousands of dollars if done privately.
I had big letters and stuff.
Big letters?
Yeah, so
They're all gone.
They're all gone.
That's great.
Plastic surgeon Joshua Corman started the program a year ago after traveling to third world countries to perform reconstructive surgery.
We're all running around the world to try to help Vietnamese children and South American children. Here was a situation where American children needed something.
To qualify for the program, former gang members are required to attend weekly support group meetings.
And you don't want your little brother or your little sister to follow your footsteps, man.
They must also enroll in school or job training and perform community service. Out of 300 youths who have gone through the program, city officials say 63% are now in school or employed. Irene Berrigan is determined to get a job, too, even though the laser treatment is often painful.
Just over here.
Hi. What a price to pay for something stupid I did.
But she says it's a price worth paying. Ken Kashiwahara, ABC News, San Jose, California.
A little to the north in Canada today, one of that nation's 2 English broadcasting networks has decided to stop airing American programming in prime time. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation has been running 2.5 hours of American sitcoms a week, and they bring in huge audiences. But the CBC says it is canceling the shows because it wants to be more distinctly Canadian. We'll be back in a moment.
Now, all the strength of Imodium AD is concentrated in the smallest, easiest to swallow anti-diarrheal caplets ever made. So powerful they can work in one dose instead of dose after dose of the pink stuff. New concentrated caplets, only from Imodium AD.
You in pain? Not now. My doctor gave me Tylenol, extra strength.
Wait, Tylenol works after knee surgery?
Here I am.
From post-surgical pain to headaches, doctors recommend Tylenol the most.
Come on!
Joy is not like a pie. The more you share it, the bigger it gets. This is the fabric of our lives. This is cotton.
Salad Shooter helps you every day.
How about some cheese for your pizza or perfect Salad Shooter hash browns for breakfast? Vegetables sliced or shredded, and nothing tops a salad like Salad Shooter.
Point and shoot to help you every day.
Presto Salad Shooter electric slicer shredder. So you can fill an omelet, slice a beet, make a soup, top a treat. Clean up easy, dishwasher safe, stores anywhere.
Salad Shooter helps you every day.
Original and professional Salad Shooter.
Finally tonight on this Thanksgiving night, some food for thought. How even a land of plenty must learn to conserve its resources and find the best ways to share them. The lesson tonight comes from a Texas woman who understands that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Here's ABC's Mike Van Fremd.
These are bad apples. Farmer Cal Brents has an orchard full of them.
Here's one that has a hail scar. So there's here's one that has bruising on it.
Farmers say that bad weather, such as severe hailstorms, can damage more than 30% of their crop. In the past, most of it was left to rot in the fields. Now, farmers from as far away as Wisconsin are sending their damaged crops across country to this dehydration plant in Lubbock, Texas.
We hope all of the people who have produce will give it to us, and we'll dry it, and we'll provide healthy, nutritious food.
Carolyn Lanier runs the local food bank. She came up with the idea of dehydrating crops on an enormous scale after receiving surplus military rations at the end of Desert Storm. She raised $7 million to build this dehydration plant in a donated warehouse.
We hope to feed at least 20 million people a year out of the plant.
The sprawling conveyor belts clean, chop, and blow dry millions of pounds of fruits and vegetables. The charity pays the cost to ship a farmer's donations, and the farmer receives a sizable tax write-off for the damaged crops. The plant can dehydrate a truckload of crops in 5 hours.
Our motto is, we'll take the water out of it and you can put it back in.
Once the food is dehydrated, it is economical to ship and will last practically forever. Mother Teresa and more than 200 other charities buy dried food from the plant at less than 2 cents a serving.
This would probably give you about 50, 60 servings just out of this.
All a chef has to do is add water and spices. Prepared correctly, it can be delicious. If not, it can taste like wet cardboard.
Seasoned with the right seasonings, very, very good product, very acceptable product.
The Lubbock charity says it is helping the poor without a government handout.
There's not one federal or state dollar in this, and this is something that government's not doing, that the people are doing at a cost the government can never achieve.
What was left to rot in the fields in years past is now on the dinner tables of some very grateful people. Mike Van Fremd, ABC News, Lubbock.
That's our report tonight. I'm Forrest Sawyer. Have a great Thanksgiving. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
7 of today's greatest entertainers bring you their best performances ever. 7 unforgettable moments that will send chills down your spine and bring you to your feet. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Madonna, Frank Sinatra, Diana Ross, Steve Martin and the Muppets farewell to Jim Henson with host Jimmy Smits, television's great